Microsoft, the creators of Windows, Xbox, Internet Explorer, and yes, even Clippy. That's little paperclip that tried to help, but mostly just annoyed everyone. Once a tech giant loved by many,
Fat 32.
now it seems to be a magnet for complaints. From frustrating Windows updates to Microsoft Edge issues, everything they touch lately seems to backfire. But why? What's happened to the company that used to lead the tech world? Doesn't it make you wonder what's really going on with Microsoft? Let's start with Windows. Once the go-to operating system for everyone, now it feels like all people do is complain about it. You'll find countless videos online recommending that you switch to Mac or Linux, and there are good reasons why. Windows market share has dropped from 94% to below 80%. Why? Because Microsoft seems to have a strict rule: never remove anything. Take the Settings app. It was supposed to modernize the system, but the old control panel still hangs around. It's like Microsoft can't let go of the past. Want more proof? Open the System32 folder and you'll find dialer.exe.
So this is certainly a relic that has been passed down from many Windows iterations to today.
A relic from Windows 95 that still exists because some legacy systems might still rely on it. That's according to Microsoft's so-called intelligent AI. It doesn't stop there. Hit Windows plus R, and you'll see the same old run dialog from the 90s. Those were the days. Or try typing cleanmgr.exe. And you'll see the ancient disk cleanup tool. It might be old, but is arguably more useful than the modern storage sense. Or how about the character map? Well, Windows 3.1. Microsoft keeps these ancient tools as if they're artifacts in a museum, but really, they're just weighting the company down. And then there's the infamous Microsoft Edge.
Oh no!
Huh? Oops. Hey!
It's built on Chromium, the same engine as Google Chrome. But what did Microsoft do? They took Chromium, swapped out Google URLs for Microsoft ones, and called it their own. So where does all the data that used to go to Google servers go? Well, Google is evil, so now it just goes to Microsoft instead. Remember Cortana, Microsoft's version of Siri? It never got off the ground because honestly nobody wanted it. Oh, and who would forget Windows 8? Microsoft tried to blend desktop and tablet worlds, but the result was just confusing. And there's the mixed reality portal. Microsoft's VR project that feels more like a VR escape room. But with a catch, there's no escape. Another example of Microsoft trying too much, even when nobody asked for it. There's even more to say. Clipchamp feels like a video editor stuck in beta. Paint 3D, a head scratcher. And 3D Viewer, about as useful as Midjourney AI. Microsoft keeps pushing out these side projects that feel like they belong in the nice try Microsoft museum. The issues aren't just about outdated tech. They're signs of something deeper. So, what changed? Let's rewind to when Microsoft wasn't the company everyone loved to criticize. It all started with ambition. Microsoft was founded in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen. Their goal? Growth at any cost. Things started well, but the real breakthrough came in the early 1980s when they partnered with IBM to provide MS-DOS for IBM's new PCs. This made Microsoft the go-to operating system for PCs worldwide from the first days. In 1985, Microsoft launched the first version of the Holy Windows. By 1990, Windows 3.0 was a massive hit and helped Microsoft solidify their spot in the operating system market. Microsoft didn't stop at operating systems.
Hello, I'm Bill Gates.
They also made deals with Apple for developing Word and Excel for Macintosh.
What's up guys, John here. I've got a new unboxing video for you. So what we've got is Microsoft Office 2008 for Mac.
They also partnered with companies like HP and Dell to get Windows installed on their hardware, making Windows the default operating system for many manufacturers even until now. In 1996, they jumped into the internet game with Internet Explorer. They battled Netscape and quickly took over the market by bundling Explorer with Windows for free, which was a big deal back then. By 1997, they even bought Hotmail, one of the first web-based email services. By the 2000s, Microsoft has transformed into a tech powerhouse, dominating operating systems, productivity tools, internet services, and gaming. The ambitious growth strategy seemed unstoppable, and the catch is it wasn't. By the early 2010s, thanks to Windows XP and Windows 7, Microsoft commanded 94% of the PC operating system market. But tech is a fast game, and Microsoft quickly started losing ground. Within a decade, they lost 22% of their market share to faster, more innovative competitors. And it wasn't just Windows. Remember Skype? After Microsoft's $8.5 billion acquisition, it lost out to newer platforms like Zoom and even Microsoft's own Teams. It's like they're filling an already packed closet with more stuff, hoping something will stick. But despite all this, not everything's bad for Microsoft. Their developer solutions like C# and VS Code are hits. Azure is a huge success, and they've made smart acquisitions like LinkedIn and GitHub. Even Bing is gaining ground after integrating OpenAI's tech. Still, these successes don't erase the frustration with their core products. Microsoft might be making money, but their relationship with everyday users? That's another story. Look at Microsoft's revenue, and you'll see something interesting. The money keeps coming in, despite all the complaints. This could mean two things. Either the loud complainers like me are just a minority, or Microsoft doesn't depend on public opinion anymore. Maybe it's both. Let's take a closer look at those revenue charts. It's clear as day, Microsoft isn't about Windows anymore. Their big money makers are cloud, AI, and their subscription services. 73% of their revenue comes directly from Microsoft 365, business tools, and cloud services. Windows? Once you buy a Windows license, if you do so, that's it. No more money from that customer. So what does Microsoft do? Maybe adding some teeny tiny telemetry to collect user data, and maybe even sell it to third parties because why not?
Nice.
Why not turn Windows into a subscription service like they did with Office? Because they need to make money somehow anyways. Considering the context and history of Microsoft, you'll realize that it all makes sense. Microsoft isn't focused on improving their old products. They're just chasing wherever money goes. And Windows isn't the golden child anymore. It's more like the old uncle who shows up to family events because, well, he has to. Microsoft today isn't about breaking new ground in tech.
In this video, you're going to see the future. Windows.
It's more like about becoming a financial giant, buying up smaller companies, and chasing the latest trends like cloud and AI. Sound familiar? Kind of like another tech giant we love to critique. Yeah? Right? But what triggered Microsoft's shift? And what's next for their legacy products? For that, we need to go back a bit further. Fact time! Microsoft didn't just start gobbling up companies recently. They've been doing it since 1986, 11 years after Bill Gates and Paul Allen started the company. And they've acquired over 225 companies and invested in stakes in 64 more, including OpenAI. Some acquisitions are famous, including Skype, Nokia's mobile division, LinkedIn, GitHub, and the recent massive buy of Activision. But not all acquisitions are big names. Some are strategic.
Nice.
They bought Forfat in 1987, which you might know as Microsoft PowerPoint today, or Hotmail in 1997, which became part of MSN. And don't forget the time they tried to buy Nintendo in 1999, with Xbox co-inventor explained,
quote, "They just laughed their butts off."
So if Microsoft acquisitions don't explain everything, what else is driving their changes? Because even in the peak days of Windows, they were eating up smaller companies. To answer this question, let's look at the leadership. Microsoft has had 3 CEOs. First, Bill Gates,
Hello, I'm Bill Gates.
the visionary who put Microsoft on the map. Then Steve Ballmer, who took over in 2000 and was known for his energetic and sometimes over-the-top style.
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Ballmer!
Hours later.
I love this company. Yes!
5 hours later.
Developers, 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 developers. Yes!
Much later.
Ballmer led during a period of stability, but also made some questionable decisions like missing out on the smartphone wave. By 2013, Microsoft was in trouble. They missed the mobile boat, Windows 8 was a mess, and Office was still trapped in its old ways. Enter Satya Nadella, the current CEO. He shifted focus to cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and making Microsoft services work on any device, not just Windows. It's been good for business, but maybe not so great for legacy users. Microsoft updates become messier, and the push for cloud services and subscriptions becomes stronger. First up, the moment of truth we were all waiting for. Nadella axed Windows Phone.
Oops.
Racing War. Windows Phone was a nice idea, but it just wasn't going to work. Nadella saw it and cut the losses. Under his leadership, Microsoft's revenue took off, but not from Windows or old products. It came from smart moves in cloud and enterprise services, things like Azure, Microsoft 365, and LinkedIn. Nadella knew where the money was. Instead of pampering old stuff, he doubled down on what's new. Look at the financials again, and it's clear. Cloud, AI, and business services are where Microsoft is putting all its energy. Windows, not so much. It's not about innovating for everyday users anymore. It's about locking in big contracts and squeezing every bit of profit from their base, even if that means ignoring feedback on the stuff people use every day. This strategy, well, is working well for them, at least from a business standpoint. But what about the users who made Microsoft what it is? The ones who were waiting behind the empty doors of the store to get their own copy of Windows 98. They're feeling left out. So now it all makes sense. Microsoft's shift isn't about messing up on purpose. It's a calculated move to chase where... Thank you, Screwsaver. It's a calculated move to chase where the big money is. It's about becoming a giant in enterprise, cloud, and AI, even if that means leaving some legacy products behind. So, what's next for Microsoft? Will they continue down this path of squeezing revenue from every angle, or they will finally listen to the users who helped build their empire? This is it. By the way, this was my first video. Hope you enjoyed it. The video ends without the usual sign-offs and asking to like and subscribe. Wait, I shouldn't have said this out loud. Is this still recording?